More information has been provided on the unlimited use of troops, because yesterday Clash of Clans announced that they are removing army training time altogether. I went over the entire blog post yesterday on my main channel, broke it all down. However, due to the limited information in some areas, there was naturally a lot of questions from the community, which the Clash of Clans team have provided answers to a couple of the most common questions. Starting out, everyone was asking, when is this feature actually getting released? Is it coming with the next update? They answered with yes, but it will not be in the game exactly the same day as the update. The reason for this is because we need a couple of days to generate clone bases so that players can have bases to attack constantly. In the blog post yesterday, they said sneak peeks would be coming in a couple of weeks. However, when the update lands, you can expect that 2 to 4 day window before this is implemented. And again, as they explained yesterday, the snapshot of a base is from a real player in the game. It's just that when there is a lot of attacking, we see this in events such as Hammer Jam, there's a lot of clouding. And I think it would be more ideal to attack a real player's base so that they have consequence of losing. But I think the downside of adding this feature is well outweighed by the positive of not having that frustration of the clouds. Just like how it works in Legends League and even Clan Wars, it will be a player's real base with their layout. In the future, they will also be adding to the replay log when your snapshot of a base was attacked. So the only difference is that when that scenario happens, and it is a last resort, they will always try and give real bases first. The only difference is that that player does not lose loot or trophies. The second question that they clarified in their Q&A blog post today, though, was what do you mean by extending unlimited attacks to Legends League? I explained this in my video yesterday, but obviously the wording of the blog post led to a bit of confusion, because what they said is that the 8 attacks in Legends League will remain for now. They are not increasing the 8 attacks, so whilst there is no training time, the amount of attacks and the training time of the army are kind of disconnected. So not having to wait of your troops, you will still get that if you're in Legends League. It's just that you are still limited to your 8 attacks. So you can do all 8 of your attacks in one sitting. You don't have to use a training potion or log in and out throughout the day. However, some people expected, due to the wording on the initial blog post, that you could do unlimited attacks in Legends League, and I understand where that comes from. However, that is not the case. What they have answered in today's follow-up blog is that in the future, Legend League players would be able to do loot attacks after the 8 daily battles are done. This sounds amazing to me because, as I said in my video yesterday, I don't think they should increase the amount of legend attacks drastically. Even if they do, it shouldn't be that high of an increase, because what happened years ago before Legends League was revamped is that the players at the top, it was really how long you could sit in the clouds, and it became a time-based thing rather than a skill-based thing as to who got to the top. The new format of Legends League does reward the skill of players, and it's not about how long you can sit on the game. So that's where the attack limitation is good. But this is fantastic, actually, because one of the big drawbacks that there is to Legends League is the limitation of the number of attacks. I talked about this with Bash and TK when we discussed the entire of Legends League, everything we think could be improved about it. And one of the biggest things from the community was they don't like the limitation of attacks. So this way, if we could do pure loot attacks afterwards, it would be fantastic, because Legends League at the top in terms of competitiveness would remain. You wouldn't have to do those loot attacks, but you wouldn't be punished for being in Legends League in that of the limitation of attacks. We wouldn't have to hover in that weird fake Legends barrier either in order to make sure we get the highest amount of ore, but that we can do unlimited attacks. This would just be brilliant, and seemingly we can expect this. I don't think they would be putting this out as an answer and then not delivering this. They said yesterday they're looking to rework Legends League so we can do more attacks. Now what they're saying is that we would have loot-based attacks after the 8, which I think is an ideal solution. Another common question from the community, and the final one they provided in this follow-up Q&A, was about limiting the back-to-back number of attacks. And this is something that they just did not touch upon altogether in the blog post yesterday. And basically what it means is right now you can do an attack, force close the app. The attack itself will complete on the server side of the game, so then when you log back in, the attack is already completed and you can just go out and do another attack. This is commonly what people will do with multiple accounts, where they just log in, blast their 2 attacks, go to another one, or in the clan capital, that's kind of all I do every weekend. When it comes to the home village and no troop training time though, you could literally just sit there and do that all day. So they are putting things in place to prevent those styles of attack. That's not necessarily how the game is meant to be played. It's better if the game is more enjoyable, and part of the reason of removing the troop training times is that you can be flexible and take whatever strategy you want into multiplayer. You don't have to just sit with sneaky goblin farming. You can if you want, but you can do a full strength attack to practice your skills and sharpen them for clan wars. So anyways, what they've said is we will implement multiple features to prevent these types of attacks. Multiple features. Please stay tuned to sneak peeks from creators coming later this month for more information. So they didn't clarify what it is, but they did at least acknowledge that that concern, which I've seen a lot from the community in that of just spam attacks, will be addressed with this feature. I think one thing that I've seen which was commonly shared is just the nostalgic element of Clash of Clans, and whenever there are big changes like this, then you always lose an element of that. And I totally understand. I responded to one of my subscribers yesterday saying that it is amazing when you look back over the years of Clash of Clans just how much the game has changed and developed, but it's for the better. And I believe that is what we're seeing here as well. It's a big change. Clash will never look the same after this, but it is a positive change moving forward. And even if it doesn't directly impact all players, maybe some people still just log in and do their 2 attacks for the star bonus as they normally would, well then at least it doesn't impact them negatively, and they can be happy for the rest of the players that can actually enjoy this feature. Yes, you always have that sort of, back in my day we had to wait 45 minutes for a golem cooking up, but the fact of the matter is, if the game was like that forever and never developed and moved forward, it wouldn't be as good as it is. Change and making sure that they are improving the game, making big, bold changes. And hey, this is a bold change. It's not like they even tested this with a 1 week or 1 month event of free training time before they did this. They just took the risk and went for it straight away. But the game developing and improving, getting better for the players is something that requires those bigger, bolder moves. And for sure, army training time is a frustration for people. It limits how much you can play the game. And whilst I appreciate that there are areas for concern with this, it's like anything that gets added to the game or changed. There will be some pros, some cons, but all in all, this one is a massive positive, and I did just want to update you on the couple of answers that they provided. Since this is such a big change, just keep you all updated. If you do want to see the full breakdown of the blog post on my main channel though, I will link you across to that. Enjoy the rest of your day.